The third dish in our basic cooking demo theme is the ground chicken and tomatoes in tamarind sauce. This is a perfect time for you to talk about hosting reward to your guests, because the dish we'll be doing is going to be more of a simmering, so it doesn't make that whole lot of searing noise like our beef dish. So this is a time to talk to them about how when they host a party, a cooking demo for us, they'll get free sauce and a huge discount actually on our kitchenware, depending on the volume of the sales of the cooking demo. And so you can point them. At this time, you probably wanted to bring the hosting reward sheet somewhere to where you stand, and then you can point it to them. You also ring up the catalog, the brochure, and tell them that the detail on the hosting rewards is at the back. So that way, then as people watching how you cook the dish can also kind of, flipping through as well. Okay, and then as far as the brochure is concerned, you probably wanted to say to them to constantly remind the guests that as you're cooking each dish, they can flip it through and make any notes when you're cooking it, so that they go home, they'll be able to do it, because we have recipe under each sauce, and also to mark it on the order form if they need to order, so that way when we process the order later, they have everything marked up all ready to go. All right, so now let's cook our third dish in our basic cooking demo theme, which is the ground chicken, tomato, and tamarind sauce. For this dish, all the ingredients and the recipes are also, in the brochure. So I will not go through the exact measurement for you, but for sure you need ground chicken. You can do this. You need to prep this ahead of time at your home. How to ground chicken, how to grind chicken. You just get a chicken breast, cut them into maybe 6 pieces, and putting in your food processor, and it only take a few pause and you get them to this texture. You don't want to go too long. You don't want to go for like 2 minutes straight. Then what you're going to have is a pasty kind of a texture. You don't want that. So you just do pause, pause, pause about 5 times. It would give you a kind of a chunky, texture. That's what you need. The tomato, you cut the tomato in the same fashion that you do the onions. So they're in cube like this. And we need some garlic. And of course, the cube onions again. Your tamarind sauce is important to point it out again. Constantly mentioning to the customer you are using tamarind sauce. And if you want to talk about tamarind sauce, this is the time to say tamarind sauce is based on a tamarind pulp. It is a souring agent that we use a lot in South America cooking as well as Southeast Asian cooking. And then just canola oil, that's what you need. And they can ask what all the things, and then we tell you about that in detail later. All right, now turn your wok on to about 275 degree, okay? And then to put in a couple of tablespoons. Now, before you do this, it's kind of good to maybe, if you already have the hostess reward around you, maybe it's about time to put this back to where you actually take it from, which is maybe in the center of a table somewhere in your host party, in your host home, so that way you don't, to get the oil all over. So you can hear that. It's popping now. And this is a gluten-free dish, so anybody who's gluten-free can definitely have this dish. Put in your tomato. See, right here. And I'll tell you exactly when you can talk about the hosting reward too, okay? All right. You just go ahead and stir fry the tomatoes until they kind of halfway done, kind of release its juice a little bit. And then put in your chicken. Again, you measure everything out ahead of time. You portion all of this out already, so you don't have to worry about, oh, is that too much, is that too little? You already have everything ready here. And now, if you put in the chicken and it kind of dies on you, you don't hear this really going, then you want to just maybe increase the heat a little bit to make sure they cook through. So cook your chicken halfway through, like this, right? Put in your garlic. Put in the onions. You see how easy is it? You use everything that you brought with you, see? All right. Mentioning to people why you use paprika, because the tomato sometimes is not red enough, and if you want your dish to look kind of nice, orangey red, put in some natural herb, which is paprika, which is a good herb to have. Put them in like this. Dump in your tamarind sauce. You measure ahead of time already. Now, you're gonna let the dish simmering. This is the perfect time. You can hear it. Not noisy at all. This is a time where you will talk to them about hosting reward. This is when you're gonna say, isn't this all so fun? You know, if you want to host the next cooking demo for us, it all depends on the, you know, how well we do at the cooking demo, but you will get definitely free food and a discount on our kitchenware. And if you wanted to host a party, just let me know. Or let your host know at the end of today, and then we definitely could book you for the next one. And that's it. That's how you just like naturally mention it while still cooking your food. So now this we're gonna go for like another minute or so get it done. And also mention to the audience too that their friends and family would love it when they host a party. They probably become the favorite person on earth, you know? Because this is just so much fun. And it's food and easy cooking. So it's not something that intimidates people at all. So I just put in some black pepper. And I'm almost done with this dish for you. All right. And then this is when maybe people start asking you some question about how to cook certain things. And this is the perfect time to start answering those questions because this dish is not as loud. So people can listen, you know, can hear you well too. All right. Just give us another 30 seconds and we're done with this dish, and then I'll move on to the last one, which is the vegetable with green curry. And then with that particular dish, we will talk to the audience about, you know, the opportunity we have with meals in a minute. All right, so we are going to plate this on to a plate that the host provides for you. Now, you can serve this with lettuce, that's what I call lettuce wrap. But maybe you might decide that it might be a little bit too much because since we already have the lettuce with the mandarin orange sauce already. But make sure to tell the audience that the perfect way to eat it is this way, over rice if they want, or put them in a little cup of lettuce and then and they will have it that way as well. There you go. And get some toothpick and you know, put them on here and have the host passed around to his guest, or they can come up and just go ahead and take some samples.